We've seen how Musashi stripped away ego, desire, and jealousy to clear the path of focus. But even with these inner chains broken, life brings another test: loss. And Musashi's next principle teaches us how to stand unshaken when the world takes away what we hold dear. Lesson 8. Never let yourself be saddened by a separation. Separation is inevitable. Friends depart, possessions are lost, loved ones pass away. Most of us cling tightly to what we love, and when it slips away, grief consumes us. But Musashi writes, never let yourself be saddened by a separation. This is not coldness, it is wisdom. Musashi understood impermanence. People, places, and objects come and go like cherry blossoms carried by the wind. To cling is to suffer, to accept is to remain free. As a ronin, Musashi wandered from place to place. Attachment would have broken him, yet detachment allowed him to walk lightly, devoted to his path. He even accepted death itself, not as a tragedy, but as the natural end of all things. For us, the lesson is simple but hard. Embrace impermanence. Whether it's a broken relationship, a lost opportunity, or the passing of someone we love, the pain lessens when we remember that all things are temporary. To live like Musashi is to honor what we have, but never be destroyed when it is gone. Loss can wound us, but often what wounds us most is not loss itself. It is the bitterness we carry afterward. Musashi turns his blade next toward resentment, the silent poison of the soul. Lesson 9. Resentment and complaint are appropriate. Neither for oneself nor others, it is easy to complain, to curse our fate, to blame others, to dwell on what is unfair. But Musashi warns, resentment and complaint are appropriate neither for oneself nor others. Resentment is wasted energy. It focuses on what cannot be changed, while distracting us from what can. For Musashi, every moment spent in bitterness was a moment stolen from practice, stolen from mastery. The world is not fair. People will lie, cheat, insult, and betray. To dwell on their flaws is to give them power. Instead, Musashi counsels us to turn inward, discipline ourselves, sharpen our skills, and accept the flaws of others without letting them break our focus. As the Stoic Emperor Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Be tolerant with others and strict with yourself." Musashi lived this truth. For us, it means letting go of resentment, not because the world is just, but because holding on keeps us weak. Release complaint and focus returns. And if resentment blinds us from within, there is another force even more dangerous, one that seizes not just the mind, but the heart itself. Musashi names it clearly: lust and romantic love. Lesson 10. Do not let yourself be guided by the feeling of lust or love. Love and lust can be intoxicating. They overwhelm reason, pull us into obsession, and lead even the strongest down reckless paths. Musashi commands to do not let yourself be guided by the feeling of lust or love. He did not condemn love entirely, but he saw how dangerous it is when allowed to rule us. Lust blinds judgment, romantic obsession derails purpose, and countless lives are ruined by choices made under its spell. Musashi, as a Buddhist, saw love as another form of attachment, another chain binding us to craving. To him, the warrior must remain grounded, rational, and unwavering, even in the face of passion. For us, the warning is urgent. How often do we sacrifice dreams, betray values, or lose ourselves entirely for the sake of desire? Musashi's teaching is not to deny love, but to never let it lead. Discipline first, focus first, so that love, when present, can be embraced without destroying us. If desire pulls us into chaos, even something as small as preference can shake our focus. Musashi's next lesson is subtle yet profound. Lesson 11. In all things, have no preferences. We are creatures of preference. We want sunny days, not storms. Praise, not criticism. Comfort, not hardship. But Musashi reminds us, in all things, have no preferences. When we cling to preference, we hand control of our happiness to the world. If things align with our likes, we rejoice. If not, we despair. But life does not obey our preferences, it flows its own way. Musashi chose freedom instead. By loosening attachment to outcomes, he preserved equanimity in all conditions. Whether faced with honor or humiliation, victory or defeat, he remained steady. For us, this means training the mind to accept both fortune and misfortune with equal calm. By holding fewer preferences, we suffer less, adapt more, and remain unshakable no matter what fate brings. Focus thrives not when the world bends to us, but when we stand firm regardless of the world. And if preferences must be dissolved, what about the place we live? Surely the environment we choose shapes our lives. Musashi's answer is as sharp as ever. Lesson 12. Be indifferent to where you live. Musashi lived in castles, in huts, in caves. Wherever he laid his head, his focus remained the same. His principle: be indifferent to where you live. Today we obsess over homes, neighborhoods, furniture, and style. We convince ourselves that happiness lies in the perfect environment. But Musashi knew otherwise. Dissatisfaction follows us no matter where we go. A restless spirit cannot be calmed by a new house. For him, true contentment was inward. The place mattered little so long as his practice continued. And so he remained free, unshaken by the grandeur or poverty of his surroundings. For us, this is a challenge to stop tying our peace to external conditions. Happiness is not in the walls around us, but in the discipline within us. When we accept this, even the simplest dwelling becomes enough. And if home is not the source of fulfillment, then surely food is. After all, what greater daily pleasure exists than a good meal? Yet here too Musashi cuts against indulgence. Lesson 13. Do not pursue the taste of good food. The tongue is easily corrupted. A taste becomes a craving becomes gluttony. Musashi writes, do not pursue the taste of good food. Pleasure in food is not evil, but pursuit enslaves. Over time, indulgence dulls appreciation. Rich meals become ordinary and simple nourishment no longer satisfies. Craving escalates and health declines. The Stoics, like Musashi, advised simple eating. Enough to sustain the body, never enough to enslave it. Musashi's own life as a wandering swordsman demanded simplicity, to eat for strength, not for pleasure. For us, this means eating mindfully, to enjoy food without being ruled by it, to remember that the purpose of eating is fuel for life, not escape from it. In mastering appetite, we strengthen discipline, and discipline sharpens focus. Finally, Musashi turns to one last chain of attachment: possessions. What we own, we cling to. But Musashi, who carried little more than 2 swords, leaves us with a final principle of freedom. Lesson 14. Do not hold on to possessions. You no longer need. Possessions promise comfort, but too often they become burdens. Musashi warns, Do not hold on to possessions you no longer need. As a Ronin, he traveled light. To cling to objects would only weigh him down. His way demanded freedom, and so he owned little. Just what was essential for practice and survival. For us, possessions accumulate endlessly. We buy, we store, we hoard, believing more will make us happy. But the more we own, the more we fear losing, and the more our focus scatters into maintenance and worry. Musashi's teaching is clear. Possessions should serve us, not enslave us. To live with less is to live with freedom. To travel light like a warrior is to remain focused on the path ahead. We have shed attachment to people, to pleasure, to possessions. We have seen how Musashi demanded freedom from the chains that bind ordinary lives. Yet there is one more prison, more subtle than desire, more hidden than jealousy. It is the endless hunger for status, the pursuit of power and wealth. Musashi's next teaching slices through this illusion with ruthless clarity.